Welcome to Web3 and Me, presented by FLOLiO. I'm your host, Jeremy Weber, and I am joined, as always, by my man in the Netherlands, soon to be visiting the good old US of A, Dan Bondelak. Dan, how we doing today?
Doing good, yeah. Visiting the US on Tuesday, which is in a good 4 days. It's crazy. It's been
That's
uh,
awesome.
it's
Yeah,
been quite some time. Yeah, looking forward.
first time coming, and you're heading to Texas, right?
Yeah, yeah, near Dallas, and it's
Okay.
definitely going to be like a culture shock, I think.
Oh, yeah, big time. I mean, you're of all the places to visit in the U.S., you're definitely visiting one of the anywhere in the South is going to be a
It's
big
sketchy.
culture shock coming from the Netherlands. It's it's wild here in Colorado. It was 90 degrees yesterday, and today it's going to snow.
90
So
is that really warm?
yes, 90 degrees is quite warm, and
That's
today we're gonna get snow.
wow. That's 32
Yeah,
Celsius, and then wow, that's crazy.
yeah. So it's dropping from 90 degrees to about 35 degrees here. So that's pretty crazy. So, enough of the weather report. I mean, the markets are down: stock market, crypto market, NFT market. Things are not ideal, but you know what? We are going to press on because there's still some things to be excited about. There's
Hmm.
more drama this week. Probably not going to be giving a whole lot of financial advice because we never give financial advice. But just a reminder there, nothing we say is financial advice. We're talking about a very speculative market. Head over to FLOLiO.com. Check on your account if you dare, but go ahead and link that account so you can do some research. Download the browser extension. Now is a hell of a time. If you have liquidity, there are some definite deals out there, and we can talk about some of those if we want. But good time to download the browser extension. We keep adding more projects to that as far as a rarity ranking and trait floor goes. So, we're probably the site that's going to give you the best and most reliable estimate of your portfolio so that, when you're crying about how down it is, you actually have a full picture of that. So, Dan, with that in mind, let's jump into it. Let's talk about, one of the biggest stories this week has been the okay versus not okay bears and all the derivatives that come of that.
Hmm.
Let's provide a little bit of update to the people who haven't been paying attention to that whole drama unfold.
Yeah. So, okay, Bears launched, I guess, quite some time ago. I'm unsure exactly when. Maybe you
Mm-hmm.
know. Um,
I believe it's been a couple months. It's a project on Solana,
Solana.
so it's probably one of the top two projects on Solana as far as price and also recognition goes. Up there with DGods is another one. So yeah, OK Bears, they've had their own issues because if you look at it, a lot of people have broken down how a lot of the design and the traits are basically just taken from Bored Ape Yacht Club. As far as like the fur of the bears, how it looks just
Hmm.
like the fur of the apes, like the angles of it and how it's designed. So we got that going. But for the most part, it's Solana, so it's a crap chain. But um, it is what it is. But we had another project stem this week called the Not OK Bears, which, like a lot of these derivatives, just took the OK Bears and flipped them so they faced the
Yeah.
other way.
Yeah,
So
and
about
the
as
thing
low
is,
effort as it gets.
yeah, and we've seen so many
Oh
derivatives,
God, yeah.
so many, and the crazy part is, I understand when people create like a derivative collection,
Hmm.
but they're making so many derivatives of a 3 ETH, 4 ETH project, which is kind of crazy to me. I don't really understand.
I mean, this isn't to me. This isn't even a derivative. It's just a copy. Like a derivative, in my
Yeah, yeah,
view, apes. There's one called Grandpa Apes, where someone like
yeah,
took
yeah,
the board ape and like aged it and make it like they're in a retirement home. I think that's
yeah.
kind
The
of
literary
funny.
copy. Yeah.
We've talked about the caked apes before, how someone took bored apes and just like totally like made them super trippy. So that's like a totally different thing. This was just a straight up copy, and we've seen
Yeah.
this before. We've seen it with the 0x apes. Those ran up to like a 1 ETH floor. Now they're back to like zero point 0.1. We've seen it with the crypto funks. We've now seen it with not okay bears, and the not okay bears. I think it came out like Tuesday. They minted for zero point 0.01, so not like it was an expensive mint or anything.
Hmm.
They gave half the money to charity, or 20% of the money. Sorry, 20% of the money to charity, which is nice and all. And immediately the floor started running up on OpenSea to like I think zero point 0.4 ETH at one point from 0.01. And you have all these like ETH maxis who hate Solana, who are like, this is going to have a higher floor than the regular ones because ETH is better than Solana and blah, 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 and all this shit. And then it got DMCA'd on
quite
OpenSea
fast, right?
pretty quickly. Yeah. Within like, I was in some group chats with people who were talking about it. And the next morning they're like, oh my God, it's not on OpenSea anymore. Like they were freaking out. But it was still trading on LooksRare. And the floor has been kind of crappy.
Yeah, currently
like
0.1.
Yeah, it's been around like 0.1 to 0.15. And then there was, all this drama about it. And then I'm not going to say a prominent member, but a member of the Bored Ape community who I'm not a particular fan of, bought out the project. I don't know what that means because there were no royalties on it, which, I think is another, if you're a derivative, like they made some money selling it, I guess, whatever. But there were no royalties on it. Well, this guy went ahead and bought the project, immediately pumped the royalties up to like 7.5%. And not shocking because the guy's kind of a scumbag. And then, now the floor has backed down because people are like, oh, this isn't as good as we thought it was going to be. And there are people like celebrating that this guy was taking over, which I don't understand. But, it is what it is. And now there are even more derivatives on top of the derivatives.
And there's still OpenSea, which is odd, right?
Yeah.
We've seen OK Bear's Yacht Club.
Yep.
With a 0.08 floor.
Baby OK Bears, Lady OK Bears, not Baby OK Bears. I mean, talk about a damn pyramid scheme. Like what?
Moon Bears. Well.
Of course. It's so ridiculous, Dan.
Okay, Cubs. It just keeps going. It never ends, and I don't understand.
Quite honestly, with how bad all the markets have been, this has been the entertainment that I've needed to maintain some semblance of sanity. I'm not going to say there's much sanity left over here, but this has at least provided some entertainment because I have not put a penny into either of these projects, and I have no desire to. So I can just kind of, watch, from the sidelines as the whole thing implodes, which derivative projects always do.
Almost.
Yeah.
I can name one that didn't, but almost. There's probably one out there, right?
Maybe, I don't know. So that has been the OK Bears drama. Anything else we can touch on there? I would say don't buy these. I mean,
I don't know. I haven't done my research on the main project or the derivatives.
I would avoid the derivatives. The main project, it's debatable. There's a lot of influencers who I don't have particular respect for because they're known for pumping and dumping on their followers who have been heavy into OK Bears. So to me, that is a big red flag. So I would probably avoid it from that standpoint. But
and if you need another reminder, reminder to not follow influencers, take a look at Frenzies, for example, on OpenSea.
Yes, dear God.
They had what was their floor, like 0.01, and their art's disgustingly ugly.
Yeah.
From an objective standpoint as well.
Yep.
I know it's hard to say that, but it's like a 3-year-old was playing around with like building blocks and then slapped like the moon block on like a square block or something. It doesn't look good.
Yeah.
And they kept pumping it and pumping, and then it just,
anyone who was criticizing it was called a fudder, which is why I was very outspoken about the fact that I thought it was ridiculous that they were having this Dutch auction starting at 3 ETH, and it just went way down, way down, and now the floor is under 0.1, and it's just an absolute disaster. So that's let's go now into a few other projects. So Chimpers is probably the main project of the weekend that is minting.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a project, the creator goes by the name of Timpers on Twitter. He was the artist for Nouns. He's the creator of the Boring Ape Chronicles. And this is a project that is pretty much allow list only. I am not I wish I was in because it's going to have a hell of a floor. But this is a project that's basically going to be allow list only. There's a supply of 5,555. If you have any of the previous Boring Ape Chronicle pieces, you are allow listed for this. So they had a pretty big run up. I'll pull up the page here in a second, but the Boring Ape Chronicles had a really big run up over the last few weeks, and it was low for a while there. I mean, you could have gotten these for 0.1 previously. You know, we've seen all the way back in March, you could have gotten one for 0.14, and then we just saw on the back of this project a huge run up to where just a couple days ago it was trading for about 4.5. So if we look at these items, you know, the one that's fallen the most is this collector's ebook, because that provides you one allow list spot. If you held one of the chapters, you got one allow list spot per chapter, I believe. And if you hold all of them, I think you get like 8 allow list spots.
Wow. Yeah.
So
I looked at this project like 2 months ago, and I was like, what if I just buy like one of the highest rarity stuff just for fun? And I was like, it was like 1 ETH or something, and I was like, what if I just buy this, right? And then I was like, I don't understand what this stuff is all about. I'll just pass on this. And I saw it pump up prior to the snapshot, and I was like, oh, oof.
Dikenza's down bad there. I've seen oof. The Boring Ape Chronicles since like they came out, and I never did anything about it. But so I'm also down bad as a result of this. But the minting starts in like 30 minutes or so, I want to say. Or no, sorry, at the top of the next hour, so about 45 minutes. There's a lot of predictions are that it's going to be going for, you know, it's an instant reveal, I believe, and I'm thinking we're going to see a floor of like 4 to 5 ETH pretty quickly.
The thing is that new projects minting right now haven't been doing too good. They've been doing all right, but I think people are very much in the mood of, you know, taking profits and running.
Yeah.
So I myself couldn't make a decent bet on it, but I do see it have so much like social media traction. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of verified accounts talking about it on Twitter, which you know isn't necessarily a good thing, but it's been getting a lot of attention, to say the least.
A lot of people I know on Twitter are talking about it, not just like influencers pumping it, but people who are like legitimately excited for it.
Yeah.
So I do think we're going to see a lot of action on this on the secondary market. I've seen some people say like, "Oh, this is going to start a bull run." No, it's not. Like this is a good collection and all, but you know, it's 5.5K pieces. I don't think we're going to see a huge run up on other projects as a result of it. I think this will probably be at the top of the volume charts, right there with other deeds for most of the weekend. So I'm going to be keeping an eye out. Like if I can. We'll try to get the rarity up in the browser extension on OpenSea as quickly as possible, because I would like to try to snipe a rare one if I could. So, you know, I'm thinking we're going to see the floor probably in the 2 to 4 range, like after the initial run up. Because if you look at some of the chapters of the book, they're holding pretty strong. So we will see on that one. Another project that has been a huge letdown was the Lazy Cubs by Lazy Lions.
Oh god.
It's bad. There was a lot.
I haven't even heard of it.
So Lazy Lions have gotten crushed in the last few months. Like,
yeah, they have.
They, you know, back in February their floor was around almost 3. Now it's down to like 0.6. They had a very similar airdrop mechanic, and by similar I mean they basically copied the airdrop mechanic that Bored Apes did with Mutant Apes, where every Lazy Lion holder was airdropped either a juice or a milk, and they had, you know, rarities up to the most rare having like all like one of ones basically. So like the Mega Mutant Serum for the mutants. So they had that. They also planned on doing like a 10,000 supply Dutch auction like Mutant Apes, but there was so much pushback, and they became pretty clear that it wasn't going to sell out. Their original plan was 10K pieces starting at 0.5, ending at 0.25. Then they changed the ending price to 0.1. Then they changed it to have a flat sale at 0.1 and cutting the supply to 4,444. That started like 2 days ago, and there's still 1.8K available.
So is this a free mint right now, or only for holders?
No, this is a public sale. So the public
That's
sale,
embarrassing.
yeah, was supposed to originally be 10,000 pieces. And so it's going to run through the weekend, and then however many are sold, that's all there's going to be, and they're going to just burn the rest of them.
Uh-huh.
But I think that it was pretty clear that this seemed like a really cash grabby, let's try to drain more money out of our community and then dip out kind of a situation.
So can we say that Lazy Lions is currently overvalued at 0.6?
I would say if it's over 0 at this point, it's probably overvalued. Like I don't
They
know
can't even
what.
sell out the new collection for 0.1.
No, and they did their bungalows thing. That was like something that's been on their roadmap. But other than that, like they haven't done much of anything. And it used to be like, the Lazy Lions thing was that they would go raid Twitter threads and like hype up Lazy Lions. I don't really see that anymore. It just seems like the project, this is one of those projects that is probably never going to see a new all-time high. Like it peaked, and maybe it sustains in the 0.2 to 0.4 range long term. I don't see the Cubs going over, like they'll probably be like a 0.05 thing here pretty soon. I think this is one of those casualties where like they probably would have been better off just giving them to their holders only and leaving it at that.
Yeah, so something I saw someone say on Twitter recently is that they mentioned a lot of old projects whose floor mainly happened because they were loud on Twitter, very active on Twitter, and it kept like riling up their followers to talk about the project on Twitter and stuff. That they haven't been doing well. Like look
No.
at Lazy Lions and the Dogepound, for example. Like those are two really big examples of projects that were really really loud and kept egging their users on to like
Yep.
rate Twitter posts, and haven't seen any action.
Yeah, because I mean, that's only going to do so much. Like, especially when you're in a bull market. When you're in a bull market, it'll get get people's attention. But right now, when people are consolidating into stronger projects, and you haven't really done anything besides raid Twitter posts and do this like bungalow thing, which is basically just the header that you can use on Twitter, it's not going to go well. So, I feel for anyone who bought the peak of Lazy Lions and has just seen the floor like dip and dip and dip. If you can still get out, like not financial advice, I would probably get out at this point. Like
Yeah, I mean,
don't see how they're going to bounce back, what they're going to
if
do to bounce back.
it's 0.6, and they cannot sell out a new collection for 0.1.
And it was also that you have to be like creating something new or something to differentiate. And when you just straight up take your mechanics of how you're going to drop it and how you're going to do the rarities from a more successful project, that doesn't really instill a whole lot of confidence that you're putting in the work to innovate and do something new in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, they're just trying to compete by following.
Yep.
And it's a strat, but if you really want to stand out from the crowd, you have to innovate, right?
Yeah. I think right now a lot of projects need to read the room and see that like a lot of stuff isn't selling out, a lot of stuff isn't holding up, and you might need to change things up a bit. Like this probably was a good opportunity to just, like I said, do the airdrop. I don't know if it was really, they made some money off of it. Like they still sold $500,000 worth of these Cubs.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Because they see barely no secondary volume on their main collection.
Mm-hmm.
They do some half-ass drop that sells half-assed out,
Yeah.
and they still make $500,000, right?
Yeah.
And that's the crazy part.
Yeah. So
I think it's overvalued right now for sure.
I think it is too, and I think we'll continue to see it go down. So the main winner on volume this week has continued to be the other deeds. We have the claiming ending on Sunday night at midnight Eastern time. Yuga put that out there yesterday. We knew that was coming. It was a 21-day claim window. Yeah. We've seen the floor run up. It was about 2.8 earlier in the week, and now it's over 3 again. we've seen the floor on the codas go pretty high. It was down in the 17s, 18s, and now it's around 24, and it's closing in on 25 pretty quick. So, that's happening. The question now is this all too hyped up because of the expectation of an announcement after that, the game is going to be playable to some extent? Like, there's a lot of speculation going on there of, will we be able to start using other side, not to its full capabilities, that's still a ways off, but to some degree. We saw that trailer. The belief is that the treasure hunt, which is on the BAYC roadmap, is going to take place in other side. So that's something to keep an eye on. But yeah, other than that, not too sure what to expect, come Monday of next week, if we'll get some news. And if we don't get news, could we see the price of, both ApeCoin and all of the Yuga projects dip even further?
Yeah, ApeCoin hasn't really recovered too well either. I've been seeing it sit around 8 cents.
You mean $8?
$8, sorry. It's 8 cents, and it's
like, what just happened, Dan?
It just dropped to 8 cents. Sorry, yeah, $8.
Yeah.
Let me check it right now.
I mean, it is way down, obviously. I feel like I really feel for people who bought it like 25,
Yeah, you need to look at the CoinMarketCap comments. It's pretty entertaining to see. We're like,
sure,
hey guys, I just dropped like a couple grand on like this ApeCoin thing. That's $40 or something, $30.
What's more entertaining, the comments on that or the comments on Luna?
I'd say Luna for sure. There's some stuff to be said about Luna as well. The drama around that is just crazy.
I feel for people there too. Yeah. So, other side, it could be a really big week, and this could be a catalyst for more liquidity in the market, or it could. I don't see it being one of the situations where everything just kind of remains calm with everything Yuga related.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's something we've talked about for the last couple of weeks, is that other side needs to do well for the entire ecosystem. So hey, I got my fingers crossed. Hopefully they say something, because it's been speculated for quite some time that people might see an announcement coming when the claim closes.
Yeah, I don't know and that's the thing with that, is like they did they added to the website with all the information there. They released that like teaser video. So is that really, like, can we really expect that, they have, like, the news is because of that 21-day claim window when they already put stuff out there? I don't think that's the case.
Well, I know one guaranteed announcement, and that is going to be, hey guys, the claim is closed,
Yeah.
So you can expect that at least.
Yep. So let's see. We got another big winner on the week is Milady Maker, which is, in my eyes, a really weird project. They just look kind of creepy. I don't know. Yeah. I don't have much to say about this one, Dan. I'll let you take the lead here.
Yeah, I'm unsure to who this is marketed to. I am I would say I do enjoy anime, and the Milady ladies, I don't think they really fall in the anime category. They fall more into the sleep paralysis category. But hey, they've been up 700% on the 24-hour candle. Hey, they're doing well. I tried to search their Twitter to see a reason why, and I couldn't. But their Twitter people seem strong. But something we talked about before. If it's just that, if it's just the Twitter people being strong and rating stuff, then I don't know if it's gonna last. But hey, I tried to do my research. I couldn't find anything. Give me a reason why, maybe an announcement or something. So
yeah, I have no idea.
So the Kansas says something about FUD. Was there anything? Were people FUDding the Milady makers?
So so there was a lot of weird stuff that came out about it through a CoinDesk article, basically accusing the founder of it and uh, I don't know how far much we want to get into it because I'm not sure what
Yeah,
all
maybe
is
keep
true
it
or not.
service.
So we can link the CoinDesk article if people want to go. Yeah, if people want to go look it up on their own, I'm not going to comment because I don't know what is true and what isn't at this point. So we can move on from Milady Maker. Let's talk about VCon for a little bit. So that has started. Patty here. Happy that you're here with us too, buddy. VCon kicked off last night with the welcome party. It's been all over Twitter. Looks like it's a pretty good time.
Yeah.
A lot of people there, and I mentioned this in one of our daily updates on Instagram. If you don't follow FLOLiO on Instagram, go ahead and do that. But a big part of the market trends is that during these big in-person events, volume is very low.
Yeah.
You have a ton of people in the community who are all gathered together, not really buying NFTs, which is, a good thing for the space in general because it leads to usually a lot of excitement and optimism and a post-conference pump, if you will. So VCon has started. A lot of really cool speakers there. I also, like Patty, wish I was there at the moment because there's some really well-respected people in the NFT community who are a part of it. Hopefully we are there for it next year, Dan. We'll get you to come back over to the US.
That'd be amazing. With the whole FLOLiO team, we'll be there for a few days.
There we go. We'll make it happen. We'll get a booth. We'll be up there with Gary. It'll be great.
Chilling. Yeah, I tried to search for like a booth lineup because I know people have like booths there, and I know a couple, but I'm not exactly sure, and I wish we could maybe talk about that more, but it's just hard to find. Why? I just wish that these websites just have more complete information. So frustrating. But hey, we at least we have some cool speakers lined up like Snoop Dogg and Ferocious.
I'm appreciating Dikens is here because he's really like pumping me up and making me feel good about myself, even though I know I would get up there and I wouldn't have a damn thing to say.
Yeah, me too. But I guess but come on, like there's some more speakers. Who was that again? There was some conference that had like horrible speakers.
NFT NYC lets pretty much anyone who applies speak. Like there's like
Weren't there some
1,500
horrible
speakers
speakers
at
there?
it.
Like straight up
Oh,
rock artists and stuff?
yes, that was the one in Miami. There
Yeah.
was a conference in Miami that had just like I think Ty Lopez.
Oh,
If you remember
yeah.
him, he was going to
Yeah.
be a speaker.
God, I remember that.
Where is he? I mean, I don't know how many people are paying
He's in his
75
garage.
each to go like wash his car for him, but that guy, what a trip! It's been quite a year already, Dan. It's only May.
Yeah, the whole like drama surrounding him, it just feels like a meme. Like it, I don't think he'll ever live it down. But I don't think he cares. He's in his
No,
garage with his Lambo,
it
his
got him
knowledge.
attention. It got him some money. I mean, what else could he want?
Apparently, the movie watching thing with holders, right? Is he still gonna do that? I wonder.
Yeah, it had to be a 2-hour movie or less, and he got to choose
He
it.
can choose
So,
it, but
I mean,
that's
at least
so
let the
funny.
person who pays for it choose
Yeah.
the movie.
It reads like such a joke, like if you okay, if you hold this, we can watch a 2 hour or less movie, and I pick the movie. It's so funny to me.
All right, let's move on from that. So,
The Titanic.
would have picked Titanic. That would have been very cute, Kansas. You and Ty Lopez
Yeah.
snuggling on the couch from a fire watching Titanic.
Under a
So
blankie.
we've seen Monolith pick back up. This is something that you want to talk about. So it hit 5. Now it's back up over 7, Dan.
Yeah, it's we saw it dip to 5 during like the low lows, which is like 4 or 5 days ago, dare I say. And we saw everything kind of dip, and then we've seen the more prominent collections kind of pick up some more volume, and that's mostly the problem. The problem has been we've seen so like low volume the last few weeks, to a point where we can see in the top 100 projects 24 hours we can see projects with like 80 volume, 80 ETH, or like even less, and that's we haven't seen that in such a long time. I don't remember ever seeing like numbers there that have been so low.
Yeah.
So I guess we got some more volume coming in, and then maybe the floors have been quite thin because most people are holding, and then bang, floor goes up to ETH, and then now we're here.
Yeah, it's one of those deflationary things too, or like there's only going to be so many monolith ones, and then we'll have
Yeah.
monolith two, and so on and so forth. I ended up picking up, my monolith a few weeks back, and I'm holding on to all the parts of it. I'm excited for the shoes. Like that should be pretty cool. And
Have you
I think,
unboxed it, or did you buy all
yeah,
the?
I unboxed, or no, I bought a regular one and I unboxed it. And I just got the human skin, like just the regular one.
I got a robot. I'm happy with
And
that.
I know you did, Dan. Don't rub that in my face.
It's funny. My girlfriend got a robot, and my friend got a robot as well. It's funny because it just basically means like you won the coin flip, because then
Yeah.
all the cooler ones are like below that, and they are all like way more expensive. And the difference between a human and a robot is like 0.2 or something, so it's not that bad.
Yeah. So that's, we've seen Artifact, CloneX, and a lot of these other projects that are viewed as blue chips hold pretty strong. None more so than Moonbirds. Like they've held
Yeah,
very,
very
very
consistent.
well. The nesting feature is obviously working on keeping the floor up. The trading volume hasn't been super high because there just aren't a ton available. I think I saw 95% are nested right now, and only like 150 or so are for sale. And then I believe this weekend, the first like 30-day nesting period is concluding, and everyone who's nested for that time will get like the bronze nest. I'm not sure what that means. And there's also been hints at some sort of airdrop. And this is where I point to the Always Sunny meme of like, looking at the whiteboard of connecting all the strings, but people have these theories of like, oh, there's gonna be an airdrop Saturday because that's the harvest moon or something. Like all these
shit, man.
All these theories, which there's been like some stuff tweeted out from the Moonbirds Twitter account that would lead you to believe that something is coming, an airdrop of some kind, bird related. I'm not really sure what exactly it's going to be. It looks like possibly some kind of companion. So, that's possibly coming. The first reward for nesting is coming. They just recently did a raffle for anyone who has one of the Chromie Squiggle Moonbirds, where the winner of the raffle won a Chromie Squiggle, which is cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
So they are doing stuff with it, and it seems like one of those bets where if you got a bunch of money lying around, it's probably a safer place to park it. If you want to park your ETH somewhere as opposed to just letting it sit.
I'd say so. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still kicking myself for missing out on it. The day it dropped at 7 or 8 ETH. That was fun. So beyond that, we had some more copyright infringement drama with Pixin. Dan, update the people on that.
Yeah, they minted out. Was it 2 ETH? I believe 2 ETH.
Yes.
And it ran up a little bit to maybe 4 ETH, like 3 points high at least. And they're one out of ones were mostly inspired by anime. And when I say inspired, I mean they straight up used like the main character from a bunch of anime shows, which is it's an anime-ish project, so yeah, it's cool and stuff, and people like it, but it's also a thing called copyright, and I don't think you're allowed to straight up rip off a character from a show, because you're also selling it, right? You're using it to promote your project as well, so there's definitely some grounds for them to like DMCA.
Yeah, so, these anime projects have taken an absolute beating over the last few weeks. I mean, if you look at stuff like Akuma and Everride, they have just been getting destroyed. Like those are probably down more than your average project over the last month.
Yeah, I think it's because a lot of people are moving funds to like, oh, this is going to be the one anime project. Like I don't think. Doesn't seem like there are a whole lot of people who want like multiple anime projects. They just want the one, right? They want the one prominent anime project.
Yeah.
And it's mostly betting around that. It seems it's been we've seen so many like flavor of the month anime projects like hopping back and forth of like in like floor price. But yeah, right now it's Pixin floor went down to I believe 1.5 right now, and it's really funny because they changed the one out of ones. Metadata to like a blank image basically while I work on new art, and that's kind of embarrassing. Like it's kind of your most prominent pieces of your collection are not there, like it looks a bit weird. And but they did get 10 ETH for compensation and a new art piece. So
Okay. Then to wrap up the week, recapping things, Solana has been doing pretty well on OpenSea. I'm not sure what your thoughts are that's leading to it, Dan. My belief is that we are seeing a lot of people just kind of gambling to try to make up for what
Losses.
they've lost out on, in their other projects. Like that's what I think was going on with the not okay bears, like people
Yeah.
trying to make a quick profit. The same thing with like the not board ape yacht club, like all these projects that have been popping up this week. And if you there's a Twitter account that a lot of us follow, it's like NFT whale alerts, and it'll show you like an hourly report of like the top mints, and you
That's
know
all
it's a
like
bad week when all of them are derivatives.
just
Like
giving shit
it
all
was
over again.
it was not okay everything. So
Yeah.
that we're like near hopefully a local bottom when that starts happening, and then like all that stuff needs to die. There needs to be a week or two where everyone thinks that the market is totally dead forever, and then we start a bit of a comeback.
Yeah.
So we titled this episode "Calm Before the Storm," and I'm curious: do you think it's a good storm that's coming or a shit storm that's coming?
That's the question, right? Personally, I think I don't think I don't know. I don't know if I would call this right now a real bear market, like a real bear. It's like the volume is down, and I think it's the lowest it's been in quite some time.
I mean, the
But it
volume's the
can go
lowest it's
lower.
been in 6 months. Floors are down for a lot of projects, like
Yeah,
50 to
50%.
80% from their highs. So it's definitely a bear market. The question is it the lowest we're going to see?
Yeah.
And discussing what we did with Lazy Lions, I think the answer to that is no. It's not the lowest we're going to see.
It can definitely go lower, but I think it can go lower, but mostly for these mid-range projects, right? I think on the top end maybe see 20%, another 20% maximum. On the
Mm-hmm.
low end, we can see up to 50%. I'd still say, but I wouldn't be surprised if if the market recovers like insanely well. But it just goes like it's a little bit dependent on the whole world as well, right?
Yeah.
With the whole Ukraine and Russia situation, um, it's I can see it end in the summer. It's what a lot of people there are saying as well. But hey, if that happens, and thank God if it does,
Yeah.
then maybe markets globally will start to pick up again, and then we can see some sort of bull cycle form.
Man, there are no positive like macroeconomic factors right now that you can really point at. If the war in Ukraine ended, that would be awesome on many, many different fronts.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Um, obviously, primarily, great for the people there, and
Yeah, first and
maybe
foremost, of course.
maybe Putin's people will, put an end to him, dear God. But we don't need to get too far into politics right now. Uh, so yeah, I think that we're going to see between now and NFT NYC in June. I think things are going to remain pretty flat for the most part. Like we've seen this before, and that was with more positive, macroeconomic factors in place. So I
Yeah,
think we're going to continue to see it remain pretty flat. And I think that what a lot of these projects bring to the table at NFT NYC and the excitement they can create is going to determine whether or not we go on another bull run. I think that if
yeah,
people see that, these projects are making more IR, in real life experiences, and they're better than before, and they're going to keep improving that. Like just this week, BAYC announced where their party is going to be at Pier 17 in New York, which is right on the water. They have like this whole like huge, venue that can hold like 3,400 people, I want to
wow,
say. So it looks really cool. If they can deliver a great experience, if a lot of these other projects, like I know Moonbirds is doing a big thing for NFT NYC, if these people can start to bridge the gap between NFT and the in real life that can come with it, I think that goes a long way in pushing the space forward and creating more excitement coming out of NFT NYC in the middle of the summer. So I think
yeah,
we're set up for the possibility of a strong run, but there's a lot of factors that could just totally squash that.
yeah, yeah. So let's remain hopeful.
Yep.
Let's pray this war ends, and people can stop dying. Thank you,
Yes.
and maybe the market picks up. As
Yeah.
a little bonus on the side.
Yeah, for sure. So I have a few projects that I'm keeping my eye on that actually have me a little bit excited. I don't know if you have anything that you want to talk about there, Dan, or if you just kind of want me
Yeah,
to discuss these.
you can take the lead, and I'll listen, and I'm curious to hear what you have to say, and maybe I can ask some questions or something.
Yeah, so these are for the most part they're ones that I just like the way that they look aesthetically, and I think that they have some good visuals there. So one of them is Lonely Pop. I'll share. I'll do a little screen sharing here, but Lonely Pop. This could be one that is a an actual anime one that does well.
Mm-hmm.
They have a pretty loyal following already. I don't judge everything by number of Twitter followers, but they have a ton of engagement, a lot of excitement around what they're creating. The art I think looks pretty good, looks pretty fun. So that's one of them that I like. I
Mm-hmm.
can't really answer too many questions because I'm just purely going off of how that one looks, and I think that one looks pretty good. There's another one, Renga, which I have talked about before, the Art of Seasons.
Yeah.
This is the studio behind that, and they're going to have
Hmm.
their first PFP project.
Interesting.
So if you like these, take a look at the Art of Seasons because I'm not sure if you get airdropped or whitelisted, but there's definitely going to be a benefit for this project to anyone who is holding an Art of Seasons piece.
And we've seen similar stuff with Aku,
Mm-hmm.
where because Art
Yep.
of Seasons is doing quite well,
Yeah.
but people just love like a personified PFP. So
Yeah.
we can definitely see this do well maybe. So
Yeah. And
let's check them out.
these are pretty cool. Like I think they're very clean. There's a similar art style to all of them.
I like
I
it.
think these are pretty neat. Like I think these could do very well.
And they're
And like
front
I said,
facing.
they're front facing. The
Pretty
art
unique.
is a good quality. And if you have, I like the Art of Seasons as well. They're also doing a print for a physical.
Oh.
So if you have an Art of Seasons, you can claim a free physical print of your piece. If you're looking at OpenSea and you want to buy one to get a physical, make sure to double check on their website that it hasn't already been claimed because it's just one claim per NFT.
Hmm.
It's not unlimited. So keep your eye out on that. And then the final one that I think is fun is called Cyberfist, which definitely sounds a little bit ridiculous, but it is basically like a cheesy 80s like comedy that they're trying to make with this character Cyberfist.
I'm just
I've
curious.
been in I've been in a chat with some people who are behind the project and they seem like pretty legit. I think this looks pretty good as well. The catchphrase for the project is "Get Fisted," so I'm sure the bosses are going to really like me saying that on the show. Uh, Get Fisted. So here we go. This is Cyberfist.
Oh, this is
Once
cool.
again,
Like
I
yeah,
think these look pretty neat.
it
They
reminds me of like
have,
Archer. You know.
yeah, I love the Archer is one of my favorite shows of all time. So the art is cool. They actually already have a trailer up. I'm not going to play it right now for the actual like comedy series that they're making with this. It's not an animated one either. Like the trailer is real life, people, but it looks like old crappy shows from back in the 80s. So I think that's kind of fun. So those are three projects, I'm keeping my eye on. I would like to be able to get in on, an allow list. And I think that really, if you're trying to get the most out of your NFT experience right now, is keeping an eye on getting on allow lists, as well as any like free mints that might be coming up or like stealth drops that might be coming up. So definitely something to keep in mind there.
Yeah, and for me, it's I haven't really been keeping up with upcoming projects. Um, so I can only share what I know, and that's if the team of Wolf Game sticks to schedule, the full game launches in next month. So and it's been like a long time coming. So that's something I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
And yeah, hopefully it's gonna be fun. Like because we talked about it a couple episodes back. These games need to be fun to play as well, and that's going to be the main concern for me myself. If it's not fun, then I don't think people are really going to care too much. So
No, no, it's going to be tough to bridge that gap and get gamers over into NFTs.
yeah,
So, all right. Well, I think that about does it for today. Anything else you want to touch on, Dan, before we head out?
that's for Formula One. coming
Yep.
up.
Yep. Formula One in Barcelona. Week after that is going to be Monaco.
Oh, Monaco. It's funny that that's the only track that I can like identify.
Oh, really?
Whenever I see the track, I'm like, hey, that's Monaco. But I don't have that with any other track. It's just because I don't know, for some reason, just like the chicane going up or something with the house or
Mm-hmm.
something. I'm just like, oh, that's Monaco. I don't know. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, Ferrari did pretty well in practice yesterday. We'll have to see. You know, it's going to be Ferrari Red Bull again, probably, like it
The
has been
classic.
so far this season. We'll see if Mercedes can do anything there. But
And
yeah, I was talking. My dad, I've mentioned before on the show, my dad's a huge F1 fan. We're
mm,
talking about trying to do the Vegas race
oh
November
yeah,
of next year. That looks pretty cool.
yeah. And what was this about Mercedes? I think getting like a new like car or something. They changed a lot of stuff.
Did
I don't know
they
if you
make some big changes over the last week, the
yeah,
off
something
week?
to do with their floor or something. It looks or there might have been wait, actually there might have been some other team. Some teams swapped their like their floor or something, and it looks
Mm-hmm.
a lot like Red Bulls for some reason. Um,
Huh.
but yeah, I can't watch the next race because trying to stay inside as much as possible, so I don't risk getting COVID and then not being able to go on the flight.
That's true.
So playing it safe and hoping I can find some completely legal stream somewhere where I can check out the race or something.
Okay. Well, I hope you have a good flight out here. I think we'll shows the next couple weeks will go on. It may just be me a little bit because I know Dan's gonna be busy with activities here in the U.S. and I don't want to pull him away from that. But I'm excited to hear your impressions of Texas and
Yeah,
trying barbecue for the first time. I know that should be quite a treat. That's one of the things Texas is known for is
real
barbecue,
Texas barbecue.
real Texas barbecue. Yep.
I'm looking forward.
Yeah. Make sure to get jeans and boots and a hat. Like I want you to
Oh
get
no,
the whole
no.
Texas look. I'd love if you could come back on the next live stream decked out in Texas apparel. That'd be
Uh,
fantastic.
I'm not much of a person for like these what are they called, like souvenirs.
Yeah.
I'm not much of a souvenir person for some reason.
I think you gotta lean into it.
Maybe I need to dip my toes in it, right?
All right. Well, I'm sure people are loving hearing this. So on that note, we are gonna head out. Once again, head to FLOLiO.com, link your account, download that browser extension. Keep an eye on some deals out there because there are definitely deals to be had at the moment. And we'll be back next week with more NFT content for you. So thank you very much for watching the show. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, share it far and wide. For Dan, for the rest of the team at FLOLiO, I'm Jeremy. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Bye bye.